Heroic are just not really a very good team right now, and so beating Fnatic is kind of a given. But they've been losing to Furia, to Mousesports, and Anonymous on Mirage, and so right now Complexity are kind of at a loss. It's a tough situation for them where they're going to have to pick into it, and they're going to have to come up with the goods against one of the better teams.
Window smoke and a run boost as they head towards the A bomb sites, it looks like. Very timely flashbangers. Config tries to find where the CTs are. Look at the kills going the way of Complexity. They picked up P250s and no payoff for them. Rush and JKS for those P250s at additional range. No raid boss required. 5 versus 2. Shush gets the opening kill for Heroic. We'll see how much more they can get for this. Poison will entertain him by a sandwich, but not really fighting to the death there, Poison. There's little reason to give him a 1 versus 1. There are counter cues as to where Cadian is. You see him looking for something, and Rush will give him something, but not what he's looking for. Nice. Almost all the kills going away with Complexity. That's a big pistol round from them.
That is a big pistol round. They got to run right on in. We're seeing the top mid run boost over and over and over again these days, and so they use that in the pistol, get him across, right up connector, no hesitation, straight up, holding W the entire way, and it works wonderfully for Complexity. So good on them. That's what they need. If this is going to happen for Complexity, it's a must-win map in the series. If this is going to happen for them, they have to win the pistol. They have to start strong and get some confidence going in here against Heroic early on. So Heroic have gone for the force buy, Deagles and Kevlar and a handful of nades, and nice flash over the top. This is all over the place. What is going on? They can't even see each other.
It's a bomb which needs rescuing on Schultz, but won't be the biggest issue in the world. Not yet. There are still 3 Desert Eagles and a scout looking to maim or do worse in the hands of Cadian. I think it starts to slow down. Heroic quietly shifting towards the B bomb site with a 2nd and 3rd player. Cadian will be left at CT. Waiting for someone to go and collect that bomb. Complexity do not appear to be in a rush. Config will be maybe emerging from connector soon. Complexity just trying to figure out what might be happening, but at some point, hold on a second, there's the barrel of the gun and Cadian starts to move into position. You can see the reaction from his teammates now. Smoke drops into connector, but that will take his angle away on the bomb, which has already been collected by BlameF. They go through the smoke, and that gives Cadian an extra shot. Down goes Config. Oh, we got 4 versus 3 now, and the rotation is here for Heroic. The great flick from Cadian, and there's no response from Complexity whatsoever. They've gone slow enough to allow the rotation. All of this from a little information, the barrel of the gun, and it collapses after that for Complexity.
Rinse and repeat, and Cadian is definitely the kind of in-game leader who's just going to start leading by example, isn't he? Scouts have been so dangerous lately. We saw a lot of that going on in the match earlier today between Vitality and FBX. Everybody just hitting shots all over the place with Scouts. It was real scary. Well, Cadian showing that he can hang in there with the best of them. That is a massive impact from him. And so it ties it up 1-1, and that strong start that Complexity got already has been ruined. They needed to just chain them together, but unfortunately, it is not meant to be. Nice HE to top mid, doing a little bit of damage to Poison. Just not quite able to get that 2nd and 3rd billet to connect with the Deeg. So, man advantage now for Heroic. Dude, somehow I keep thinking these nades are going to be meaty, and then they just don't do any damage.
I think it went under the sofa or something. If it bounced off the back wall, though, it would have been a different story. Again, Shush wanting to double check what weapon comes out when he presses Q. He'll be alive with 7 HP. The flashbang to allow him to look towards Tetris. JKS knows what's happening, tries the pre-fire. Doesn't quite get there. That's a lot of money saved in that respect for Shush. Rush maybe with opportunity if he can just land that 1 shot on default.
You really do have to spend a lot of time just watching Underpass if you're playing against Complexity on Mirage. It's probably one of BlameF's favorite spots on the map to just hang out.
Yeah, they knew he was low, able to get something out of this round. Sort of play by Connector was in the red as well. They're waiting for Cadian to get into position, and that short delay allows just a 1 kill for Complexity. So they will have some impact on that round, but ultimately it will be in favor of Heroic, of course. 2-1 now, as Complexity find themselves in eco territory. We'll see if they can plant the bomb. They invest absolutely nothing into this round. You do love to see that. 2 players headed towards B for Heroic. We'll see if Complexity W all the way. No, it'll be a contact play, makes sense. Otherwise, they will just eat the grenades. And with no Kevlar, a HE can hit you and then explode and do 101 damage in 2 hits. That grenade, though, could have been very juicy indeed if it went in the window instead. That may give Complexity half a chance. They are pretty far back, though, so most would have avoided. And Heroic are ready to have some extra personnel on this B bomb site, it seems. But for now, Tessus is on an island. Refresh having a look towards mid. 1 minute 10 for Complexity. What is the go command? What is the go time? Well, maybe it'll be a minute. They start to strail in. Oh, they're trying to bait some grenades here, but that's going to allow Refresh to get into position. Tessus with the opening kill. You can see Super Mario Brothers trying to avoid being headshot in the windows, but they won't all be able to do so.
Come on, 1 kill. Painful. Pain for Complexity right there. Not even able to do a little bit of damage. Right now I'm having fun looking at heat maps of Complexity on the T side. And I was kind of curious about that, whether or not Blame F really just pops up on that underpass. And yes, in fact, he does. It's like a massive red spot map for him within the first, let's say, 45 seconds of the round. He's just chilling there in underpass. So if you're playing aggro mid right now on Heroic side, you really do need to be aware of that one spot. It is definitely a spot that Blame F likes to hang out in. But I mean, you kind of know that. Here he is top mid, making a little bit of noise. Again, setting it up for the team. Rotated to the A site. Nicely done here by Refresh. Only the single kill.
That frag through the wood is really huge because it was a bit delayed, the second player making his way towards the site. Cadian buying some time for a squad, trying to delay a bomb plant. The bomb's in fact still in Palace, and Tessus on the way in CT.
Can it get out now? Do they have a smoke for CT?
Still waiting. The objective will hide while the remainder do their work, but that smoke will come and go. Looking to control jungle. That might allow an inverse plant. Tessus says hello from CT. Fadeaway HE grenade, and there's still a minute on the clock here. There is that inverse plant that can be defended from jungle. Much better situation for a T side.
I think they back off and save now, Tessus and Cadian. There was that's the 1 kill where you're going to get an opportunity, and Tessus unfortunately whiffs the shot. So when you miss that shot, it's pretty much done. Had you brought it to a 2-on-2 immediately and even just dropped the bomb, whether the bomb happens or not, it's like if you bring it back to a 2-on-2, okay, maybe you're looking at something. But the fact that you missed the opportunity to get the kill there, this is the correct play to make here for Heroic. Back off, save the guns, maintain the money. And for Complexity, they managed to get in here very quickly. Makes me wonder if Heroic are going to start showing a little bit more of a presence towards Palace to keep Complexity honest, or if that's a sort of situation.
Gets expensive quickly for Heroic.
It does indeed. And so that's it'll be really fun to see here how this develops. If they swap Blame F in mid like that again, are they going to think that it's the Palace play once more, or are they going to think something else? We haven't quite seen them use that too much here. So Complexity now, they have managed to pick up a round, and in a fashion that is going to be a bit frustrating for Heroic. Back up to top mid, though. Poison with the Molotov to connector, which you see over and over. And a real change of pace here for Complexity, charging straight up short. Nice shot from Shoes, though, through the smoke. Gonna trade it.
Heroic not opting for AWPs just yet. Or the transfer attempted by Tessus. Another bomb site's being lost. Bomb collected by Complexity. He makes his way around the corner towards B. They're not sure if anybody's on B or not, though. And that is allowing rotation from Heroic. Blame F is going to get a free one in the window, or maybe not.
Whoa.
That was all over the place. Very sloppy spray there from Blame F. And that gives Heroic a man advantage. And it just gets worse for Complexity. Coming into this one, maybe half asleep in round number 6. Suddenly Rush is alone.
It can happen for Blame F, too. You know, the 180 headshot, just instant death.
I know, but he should never have had the opportunity. I don't think Blame F will allow that one to happen again. Now, Rush could still be heading towards the A-bomb site. Heroic start to spread out, but they have no one even close to B at present. So Rush has an opportunity. Cadian on short now. Now Molotov will tell a story. He's figures somebody has to be here somewhere. There is Cadian to deliver the final kill for Heroic. 3 players stay alive, always important for a CT side. AK is collected or dropped if anybody wants it. Maybe Shush will collect it, come in the back.
Nicely done.
Be the AKs instead.
Just full-on collection. I mean, you have so much time. You just go around, pick up grenades, see what you can get. Every dollar counts. Economy is what the game is about, and so that is definitely something that was fun to watch. The evolution. Fnatic were the first team. Fnatic, Existence, I mean, like Very Games as well did it. Started running over bodies to pick up nades. Before that, it wasn't too much of a thing. Not everybody was doing it, and then it became a rule where it's just like, okay, everybody run over bodies, pick up nades, pick up nades, pick up nades. So it was fun to watch that happen, that evolution happen.
And if BlameF gets that kill on the window, we could see a very different scenario here, but both teams will still be on the buy rush on the Mach 10. He may be the space creator for his team to consume the vacuum afterwards, to fill the vacuum. I had 3 hours sleep today, man.
Why?
Not for any particular reason, I just woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Down goes Tesses, and there is Rush making space for his team, and Rifles are holding angles towards short. They're waiting for a peek, and Refresh may be aware of this, being very careful. Cadian watching the rotation towards the bench. Always a nice angle to hold with the AWP, if you can get there fast enough. Artillery being thrown at the bomb sites as well. And Heroic seem to be conservative in their approach, looking to hold on to what they have. Not going to do anything too crazy. They lost position, they're a man down. Despite the damage with the grenades, they'll give this one up.
They will, but again, it's like, it's as far as the economy is concerned for Heroic, they just give this one up and they just maintain it. They're going to have plenty of money going forward. It's not like Complexity are breaking the economy or anything like that for Heroic, and so Heroic feeling pretty confident about themselves right now. Complexity, though, they're getting into these very pointed, let's say, winning scenarios where they just run in as a group together and they're just hitting the correct bomb site. Last time we saw it work so effectively was, you know, the BlameF lurk mid with the Palace, everybody out through Palace. Here, it's a little bit more straightforward on the other side of things. But Complexity, let's see if they can keep running these kinds of strategies over and over again, or if they're going to have to get involved in mid a bit more, take the fight to Heroic there. Heroic are just going to be chilling, though. Cadian's got his AWP now. And with no challenge in mid, is it going to be conflict? Looks like. Let's see here. Is Cadian able to spot somebody or not?
Boost into the short position once again. Not the first time we've seen that from Heroic.
So here's the mid crunch coming in from Complexity.
They won't outstay their welcome with regards to the window. They know they'll be vulnerable from down below. Let's see what the approach towards Connector is. Tessus is very deep in B apartments, will allow Heroic to have a big focus on A. BlameF will still find an angle, and Storm's just jumping to try and stay alive here. Tessus will continue, but will he check the stairs? You can see BlameF is looking for something. Again, a false sense of security maybe, but Tessus delivers the kill.
Tessus is so good.
Very solidly. Untouched. BlameF 2 for 5 at present. And Complexity are 3 versus 5 here in round number 8, taking control of Connector. But they've got to work hard to turn things around. There may be sound cues for JKS with regards to the ramp. Refresh is silently heading back towards default, but Heroic are in a good position here. They've got no one towards CT though, and that could be a problem if Refresh is dropped. Presence shown in the Palace as a response. Now JKS will see the trajectory. They know that one player is the default. Of course, we still have Shush on the ramp. It's going to be real hard. Now it's made a triangle as we got a rotation to CT from Cadian. Only gets worse for Complexity on the A bomb site. Not going to wait around either. Cadian gets dropped in CT, but it's Poison now versus 4. It's a good round for Heroic. 2 AK-47s, the AWP collected. The 2 AKs are made 3.
Tessus picks up an AK. I was wondering if he was going to pick one up, and he snagged it at the last possible instant. That was so cool. That was close. So right now, Complexity have got to be thinking, okay, we need to just kind of go back to the straightforward approach here, guys, if we can make that work. Because so far, if we're getting into duels, if we slow it down against Heroic, we're losing. So I'm curious to see what they do in the next round. Not this one, in the next one. It may just be straight up Connector again here from Complexity. Bomb is over in ramp. And yeah, BlameF going to get right up in. Nice opening behind the flash grenade, though, to give him a chance to get out into jungle, start doing a little bit of damage, trying to find a target, not going to do it.
Yeah, we've got Complexity swarming over this A bomb site. It's retake territory for Heroic. Nice headshot from Cadian. And the bomb still needs to be planted. So important that BlameF has control of jungle, but the bomb is on the ramp and Tessus is about to find it. Config, not it. Oh my god, okay, well,
Dude.
that's one way to turn things around. That opens up the B bomb sites as well. And now things get really weird. We can see JKS moving away from the A bomb sites also. Blamef won't have any sound cues just yet. This is an important position for him to hold. You can see Shush rotating towards B, and that might send the bomb back towards A, but he's faking a rotation towards B and trying to bait them towards A, it seems. So there's a lot going on here with 50 seconds on the clock, and we can see Config has turned around now, heading back towards the A bomb site, maybe via mid. So this is going to get super weird, but Heroic have actually seemingly effectively baited the bomb where they want it to go. Storm knows that no one's on the B bomb site, and now he can deal with Connector as well. 30 seconds on the clock as he starts to look towards Connector. He's being checked for though. That's the bomb on the radar, but another important kill from Config. Blamef now moving away from the jungle position, but Cadian's been here the whole time, trying to create some space. They're lining up for him straight through the head into another one. That's kind of disgusting, and it's the round for Complexity.
What a round for Complexity, but what a round from Config in particular, hitting all of the shots. It starts with catching Tessus on the flank with that bomb and just goes from there. They even line up in the end, actually worst case scenario for Heroic, because I feel like Heroic played that so well. Cadian just not hitting the shots, or rather not missing the opportunities, right? Gets those kills. And then they just line up for Config in the end. Tragic. Should have been a one round there for Heroic. Instead, it's Complexity managing to get a fourth round on the board.
And the game sense we're seeing is so awesome. Deliberate footsteps to bait the rotation back towards A. It works, but they just line up in the worst way possible. Lined up to be euthanized by Complexity.
Brutal.
Very early control of Connector here. Again, the bomb needs to be collected. Complexity with very good map control just across the board. You can see their positions on the radar. Rush is ready for an information play in the apartments. JKS sees one on the ramp. Blamef is in Connector. And Config's top mid, so they're just waiting for any kind of play from Heroic, but they still can't respond to it when it comes.
Ouch. Default getting punished again. They're starting to get a read on this. Cadia misses the flick. HE in. JKS finding the kill on Shush. He's going to open it up here on the A side. Stavin holding close to Connector, and he just, doesn't get away. Nicely done. Blamef hunting him down.
Cadian just holding the angles. Refresh appears at the perfect time. The bomb's been dropped. JKS now 1 versus 3. Cadian is ready for these shots. He's 13 for 3 on Mirage. Home turf for him on the CT side. Very back and forth affair, though.
Cadian actually just looks so consistent right now for Heroic. Even when they're losing, he doesn't seem to be the one to really be struggling on an individual level.
The last 7 rounds, none of them have been consecutive. They're just winning rounds back and forth, back and forth. But maybe the 2-round lead really helps the CTs there, because otherwise it would generally be pretty bad for them. They have put Complexity on pistols, and they've opted for the Eco rather than the Force Buy. 2 Desert Eagles and a P250 for Complexity. No grenades, though. They will absorb bullets with their chests and faces, it seems. A lot of targets for Storm. He needs some flashbang support from somewhere. Grenades are being deployed. A HE grenade towards the chair position. Under the window as well. But still, Heroic not terribly concerned with Complexity's presence in mid. Storm moves away from the window. Beyond that, he hasn't been offered much support. Just the odd grenade. Cadian and the rest of his team comfortable with putting as much range as they can between themselves and Complexity. Apart from Shush, who has taken a ramp.
Shush is still, in a position to do some damage, though. But yeah, I mean, against these pistols, the name of the game in these pistol situations is to just keep your distance. You have the rifles, they have the pistols. They don't even have Kevlar right now. Heroic can even have figured that out. So right now, as far as you're concerned, if you're Heroic, you keep your distance and you use the rifle advantage. Complexity looking like they want to get to the Connector again. This time around, hit that shot, goes back to the well, and not quite going to find that follow-up. This is all about Stauden, and again, getting a bit close there. Too many pistols, and Blamef finding a kill. All on him now, though, with that M4. What is he going to be able to do? The stand-up. Not meant to be. Cadian, another kill, a triple kill for him this round, 16-3. And it is Heroic starting to extend that lead, 7-4 on the CT side. Again, the money is just fine. I feel like Heroic, just despite all the craziness, we haven't seen them have to eco. It's like a Complexity when they're winning rounds, they aren't necessarily getting kills. And so Heroic are just still comfortably buying rifles and just getting the job done. Complexity just making life very difficult for themselves. So we're going to get that timeout called here by Complexity.
It almost felt like a timeout that last round. But there'll be more discussion, it seems.
Yeah, a little bit back and forth. Or is it just a slowdown kind of round? Didn't really see too many people talking there, so maybe they are kind of just chilling out for a second. Sometimes you do have teams that will do that. Well, they'll just call a timeout, and it's like, don't even talk, just breathe. Slow down the pace a little bit if you're feeling nervous, if you're getting a bit wired. Could be the case.
They really want some action in the mid position, Complexity, but they're not being given it. And Heroic aren't a team who are shy of aggression, but they're just not finding it where they're looking for it. Oh, Poison, what are you doing there? That is a strange kill. Storm stuck in a smoke. Config has traded places. Not sure if he got the sound cue, but with JKS, they could really do something here. But Cadian's got a different plan in mind. Storm almost getting a 180, but Config still looking sharp. Bomb needs to be collected. Space created with the smoke, trying to take Cadian's angles away, but he may still have something, a little something. 3-2 for Heroic. Config alone on the A bomb site. Found an angle on Cadian. You can see Refresh here to trade. Cadian may be outstaying his welcome on that one. An exchange of HEs, and I haven't seen Blameth just yet. He's been lurking around that mid position. See both CTs now in CT. For forward smoke, threatening to go ahead of it, but in fact, they'll rotate elsewhere.
Trying to get ahead of this bomb plant. It's going down, facing jungle, and Heroic are about to walk right into the fight here. Checking the angle. Yep, nobody there. They're through. This is all on Blameth. There's a config. Oh, man, the crossfire set up now between the two Complexity players. There should be a winnable situation for him at this point.
Both focus on Config. There's the 1-for-1. Refresh trying to figure out where the last man is. Config is gone. It's just down to Blameth now. Captain checks all the way inside connector, heads towards the bomb, looking for a peek now. Oh, there it is! And he gets the full spray, and he has the kit. That looks very unlikely, but Refresh is pretty sharp as well. And it's 8 rounds for Heroic.
That has got to be one of the sickest clutches. That is so nuts that Refresh actually gets that full shot. Are we going to see it again here? I hope we do. That is wild. And this was Cadian as well, hitting both of the crucial kills there. Holding Palace, he got the job done, but him going toe-to-toe there, Refresh with Blameth, and Blameth dropping the ball. That is a painful, painful loss for Complexity. He absolutely has to get that kill, Blameth.
What else was painful was Poison Stefan Palace. I'm not sure if he was doing some kind of weird jiggle or something, but he kind of just like stood with his arms out and then died.
Here we go, here we go.
We got a fast one, potentially from Complexity, but the lurker has been eliminated already. Storm creeping around the smoke now, some pre-fire towards default. Nice headshot from him. This is a brutal game of Counter-Strike. Fast-paced action on the A-bomb side of Mirage. 2 Deagles remain versus the 3 CTs of Heroic. They've got Refresh creeping in connector. JKS now by Sandwich, watching the gap. And Config looks towards jungle. Spotted by Cadian now. Jumps up to get slammed down. 1 versus 2 Config. Seen him with the Deagle before, but there are too many man on road for Heroic. And they make it to 9. Bonus money. The bomb plant essential there allows them to get a nice buy-in again, Complexity. They'd love to get a few more rounds here as we close out the first half.
They would indeed. Poison finally going to get that AWP back in play as well. This is, again, Complexity, they can catch Heroic off hard if they just accelerate, right? If they pick up that pace, it's when they're slowing it down that it gets dicey versus Heroic, and they tend to lose those duels. But when they play quick, Heroic are getting caught with nades in their hands. They're not expecting that change with that turn of pace. Let's see. There's the shot. Nicely done. Poison, with the help of Shush of all people, is going to get the kill on Cadian. So unfortunate turn of events there. Heroic, the team flash, going to cost him. Man advantage now for Complexity. Best case scenario for them is to pick up this round and the following.
Oops. That may negate the play entirely if they think that someone's heard them. Indeed, they don't go back to it. It could have been read by players in the underpass. Simple jump error. Stops their aggression, Heroic, and being a man down, they need that. There could be more men down with Blamef in CT spawn. Does he turn the corner in time? I think he does. 1 minute on the clock as Blamef comes from no man's land. Spots the edge of a CT, and he will get the kill. Last two players on the B bomb site. Heroic have lost a lot of money in this round. This is not an ideal situation for them. Config, I think he's found Tessus as well. I imagine the hunt will proceed. Not a lot of money for Complexity, but they want to make things better for themselves. Perhaps they think twice now. 3 versus 1. Tessus has been heard.
Little does he know.
Complexity moves to 5 rounds. We'll see who takes the last one. Probably them looking at things on the column of Heroic.
Yeah, it's not ideal for Heroic here. They don't have much money to go from. They don't have much money to work with. Finally, Complexity going at the very end of this half have succeeded in getting Heroic to have to go for this, though, or at least have a very limited buy. So we'll see what Heroic have in store for us here. No AWP, at least that much can be guaranteed. Cadian could go back to the scout, though. Tessus could drop him one, or is the AUG that's dropped? Okay. So Tessus going to hook that up for Cadian. AUG on to Cadian, not too bad. We've seen that he can do some pretty sick work, but Cadian right now has just been this terror. 19 kills and a half. That's filthy. Absolutely ridiculous performance here from the in-game leader for Heroic, and Cadian straight into underpass. All out. He's here in the stomps as well. Unfortunately for him, Blamef was ready. Not this time.
Refresh force from his position. Held on to B at least. Wasn't a full push coming through. But I don't know if they can hold on to this round. Config deleting Storm. Config's been looking pretty damn sharp with this AK-47. We'll see if he can continue it with the M4A4s. Shush making his way into Palace. Poison with the AWP and the bomb. Keeping T-Spawn honest. And Heroic now will maneuver over towards the A-bomb site. Gamble's being made. And then maybe they have to do that 3 versus 5 with 2 MP9s, no less. Complexity never shy for a slow round on the T side of Mirage. We'll want to minimize mistakes. But where are they headed? They've got a lurker towards A and a lurker towards B. The bomb moving along short with security, protect the VIP. So perhaps it will be a split of the B bomb sites attempted.
Yeah, unfortunate for Heroic. They'll find Config. Man advantage now for Complexity, but yeah, that bomb is going to get planted B, and they have to go into a retake with 2 MP9s and an AK. At least they have 1 kid on Tessus, but it's still a long way ahead of them here. Heroic, pretty highly favored for Complexity to win this situation now, and to shut Heroic out of the 15th round. Poison's got the angle, Smoke going to go down, not going to block him off. Oh, caught sleeping though.
And that bomb is ticking. Tessus has a defuse kit. Double peek seems to be on the way. There's one gone, another one spotted. Blamef sees both players now, one by the window. Tessus running out of opportunity, 19 HP, and he's put out of his misery. 6 rounds for Complexity on the T side of Mirage, the first half of this series. The second half comes after the break. And we are back. 6 rounds on the board for Complexity on the T side. They move to the CT side, and maybe they will find more success, or perhaps the favorite Heroic will run away with things on the T side. Storm has a P250. No Kevlar for this T offering. Flashbang and a smoke, though. See what he has in mind. I see Shush making a solo play towards A. He's in the Palace. And Storm is dead. Sometimes you win the duel, sometimes you lose the duel.
Poison starts to wake up here. This is actually going to be a pretty big deal for Complexity. They really do rely on him. I mean, every team relies on their opera to some extent, but I mean, if Poison can start hitting shots, that's going to be fantastic for Complexity on the CT side. Refresh catching config out in the B apartments, but the bomb is dropped at top mid.
Yeah, no one's seen the bomb just yet for Complexity. Heroic may try to use this time to find themselves some kills, but that's looking harder and harder. Refresh now going to collect the BOMB. There's nobody here. He has himself a USP. And a reasonable 1 versus 2, unless somebody starts to push, as we can see Rush is doing exactly that in the Palace. Now, I believe he's been heard. Indeed he has. Look at the rotation. Blameth is on the way. Poison will go through B apartments in case he moves away from the A bomb site. He can be the early warning system and buy time for a rotation, which can keep 3 players towards A, sorry. Blameth may have to keep an eye on mid in the meantime. 40 seconds remain, then there are more questions. Complexity are positioned so no one's exposed to connector, so if he was coming from mid, then Blameth could just pick every so often. All by design. JKS with the best angle. Blameth and Rush will get a cheap helmet in the next round, which will certainly help them go for a rifle.
Oh yeah, not wasting any time at all, getting right into the thick of things. So let's say this was Blameth. He pushed and got 2 as well. Got the read on the underpass push, and yeah, that was Katie getting taken out. So both in IGLs, you know, underpass.
Damn, Rush took the L for grenades and pulled out the French gun. Complexity now having taken both pistols. They got reset the last time around. We'll see if Heroic can do the same again. Looking unlikely considering they have 5 Glocks on road.
A hard eco scenario here for Heroic.
Well, we might be here for a while, Semler.
Yeah. Nobody pushing mid right now. So, but it's a hard eco. Something, I mean, this is rare. Not something you see every day in CSGO these days, you know. Nobody spending money in a round. What is this? I'm confused, James.
While we wait for something to happen in this round, I saw that Twitch had, like during the halftime break, Twitch has sent an email to everybody about the hot tub streams.
Okay.
It was a long email.
Was it?
I haven't finished reading it just yet. But
give me the skinny.
Pardon?
Give me the skinny.
Well, it was. I'm still in the fluff section essentially, so I don't know. They said they're going to, you know, look at their rulings and stuff in the coming months because, like, overly sexualized content, let's say, can be open. It can be a matter of opinion or open to interpretation. So we'll see.
Indeed.
But I would like to see them piss off. Because I feel like in part they're sexualizing children, and that is a big issue. So they need to fuck off, to be honest.
Well, isn't like the beginning? Isn't the majority of Twitch users like between 10 to 19, something like that?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So that's that's why it's like not good.
Yeah, that gets you wondering.
Well then, Complexity, they've won their consecutive round. They'll keep the FAMAS, the UMP and such. As Heroic come out with the AK-47s and early smoke into the window, and Heroic looking to go fast towards connector. Well, mid is more or less secure for now. It looks like the bomb perhaps will be rotated towards A, B, rather. There's no lurker towards the A bomb site, which is quite telling for Heroic. He'll show some presence through connector, and here is a boost we're seeing. They could get caught by this, trying to fall back now. It says it's good for 2, just around the corner. He's got help from the windows. Refresh can surely pick up his teammate. There will be a trade. Molotov's towards the door. Man advantage for Heroic. This one escalating quickly. However, someone's got to go and get the bomb. I think that has to be Caden. He's by the chair right now. But if he's picked off while he rotates, then Heroic are going to be in a really weird situation. Oh my God, Blameth
So
just
close.
about hasn't seen him.
So close.
And they're off to save.
I mean, they put themselves in that position right now. If Heroic go A, Complexity have done the best they can with 3 players there. But if Heroic go B, you're in a safe situation if you're Complexity, and you're fine with that too. So bomb is going to get picked up. Refresh is locking down the B site. And we should be getting a B bomb plant for Heroic in just a few moments' time. 35 seconds left in this round, so plenty of time here. And Heroic are going to be the first team to reach double digits. First buy round here for Heroic. So again, Complexity, it's like winning the pistol. Good stuff. This time, at least, they didn't give up the second round, but they do give up the third very quickly here, and so they just really can't get a whole lot of steam, excuse me, steam going their way.
There is now a pools, hot tubs, and beaches category.
Indeed.
To separate it from just chatting. So if any of you wanted to know, now you know.
Yeah, it is a bit of a rock and a hard place sort of situation Twitch have put themselves in, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Tarek is fuming.
Yeah, it's a shame his entire brand was oppressed by virtue signaling of Twitch. No shirt TV, but you
Just
must
bring
wear a
back
shirt.
the no shirt TV.
Or tassels, I suppose. He could wear
We all
tassels.
remember.
I can't see it happening, though.
We all remember.
He watches the blind spot, Tarek.
He does.
Seen him in the chat.
Ew. Well, he's back here in NA farming it up, so good on him. But let's see now. This is going to be at 10-8. Big round here coming up for Heroic. As this is full AKs across the board, full nades as well. Complexity do have the money, though, to get pretty much equipped. Rush is going to be the one who always takes the hit for the team. The real team player has the UMP. And it's looking like it's going to be a bit more of a straightforward approach here from Heroic this round. 4 players gathered up in B apartments. Cadian on the other side getting a read of things. More and more we see teams doing this. I feel like I'm watching Happy all over again. IGL off to the side on the lurk. But in this case, it is just about getting information right now. Cadian is trying to suss it out, trying to figure out what is it that Complexity have got going on their side of things before deciding where Heroic need to gather and go.
So the pace has certainly changed. No noise, dry peaks from Heroic, the driest peaks. Smoke in the window, just sub 1 minute mark. Flashbangs, or grenades rather, towards the CT position. Thought it was a flash for an AWP, but it's a smoke on the bench and a big headshot from Refresh as he makes his way towards B, but he's moving into a crossfire. Dealt with by Shush, takes down the crossfiring player, JKS as well. 2 versus 4. Rush with a UMP, can't really do much in this scenario. Config trying to make it winnable, eating a flashbang, falling back a little bit. There's another flashbang and off he goes. He won't be given an opportunity, not for free. Chased now by TSS Rushstein, scurrying away towards the B bomb site. Heroic showing strength on their T side. We haven't really seen the full buy from Complexity at this moment. Seen a FAMAS here and there, the UMP in the hands of Rush, but maybe not for long. Ooh, fancy. All right then, I think Heroic have lost enough money in this round. May have to concede the AK-47 to Rush. But they've got a 3-round lead, 11-8 of Complexity. This will be a difficult round for the latter.
And they know the Complexity are in the doghouse when it comes to the economy. They really don't have much to come back with, so they shouldn't be feeling too poorly about the situation. Instead, should be a round where Heroic can farm up a bit here and get a little bit of a cushion in their own economy. And so 11-8, Complexity not going for anything crazy here in this round. Not at all, in fact. Just 2 towards B, 2 towards A. Do we get a little bit of aggression? Yeah, okay. Rush is going to go ahead and pressure Banana the apartments. Needs to win this duel, though. That is painful.
1 AK lost, 1 AK collected, however.
What is Tessus?
Down goes Poison. JKS going through Palace. Config moves with AK number 2. And that is a man who is ready if he's given an opportunity with an AK. Now we've got a 3 versus 3 position. JKS last spotted near Palace, making his way towards the ramp, and Heroic are indeed moving very slowly, not wanting to make a mistake, but again, that's giving Complexity time to be proactive. JKS has cleared Palace, he's on the ramp. We have Blameth moving through the apartments. Both the AKs are towards the A bomb site. With Blameth being the information man, JKS with a surprise angle, and then here is Config as well. Storm has a lot to do here. 41 HP to do it, switching out for a fresh AK-47. That bomb's in a very awkward spot. He doesn't know where Blameth is. And there is a headshot angle, basically, with the connector peek from Complexity, potential double peek as well. Blameth moving away, though, which makes me wonder if he's seen the bomb. Surely they've seen the bomb here.
Yeah, he's going to get that AK.
Well, that's confident.
Like, what were they doing? I mean, there was the AK. Rush's AK was used as bait. Config was allowed to pick it up for free, though, and then push behind it and get a kill. This is the kill there on the refresh. And so these AKs, and Tessus just pushed out of apartments without even looking to see if anybody was holding on balcony. So I think just a very weird round there from Heroic. And that's going to seriously hurt them because now, I mean, Complexity, that was an eco round that they managed to win, so they are fully bought up. They have everything they could hope to have here in this round. Nicely done from Blameth. He's so good at this angle.
Yeah, Complexity warming up quickly. They've got to get these AKs away from them. They're so ready with these AKs, as we can see. Config 19 for 16. And all the money for Heroic has quickly been deleted. Simply too slow with the low numbers. Complexity, not the kind of team to wait around. They'll take the risk and find out where you're going. Bait and switch set up with the two AKs in the round prior. And they find themselves in a dramatically different position.
Now the pressure's really going to settle in here on Heroic, and they may be just freaking out just a touch. I mean, now you're wondering, is this going to be them being vulnerable here to Complexity? This is a must-win map for Complexity in this best of three. If they're going to have a chance, I think Heroic are pretty heavily favored on Nuke, the second map, Heroic's map pick. So are we going to see Inferno or not? Maybe Complexity heard me at the beginning of this match when I said that I don't think that they will. And they're like, Semler, we're going to prove you wrong. We're going to prove you wrong. We're going to do it. Take this the distance, go all three, and relegate Heroic, a favorite in the tournament, down into a 9th to 12th place match. That would be nuts, and it would really, I mean, I don't know, I'm still kind of unsure of how I feel about all of this, how difficult it is to predict online CS. OG, favorite in the tournament, out already. Bottom of the pack, FaZe out. You know, it's just like, if we start losing Heroic too, this is going to be a really weird time.
Here we are again. Still a fresh strategy. So back to the hot tub streams.
Okay.
So part of the email makes me wonder if it'll be like an Admageddon situation. Remember when YouTube,
yeah.
where advertisers could choose, I don't want to be in this category, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Apocalypse.
It seems, I mean, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but it seems there's potential for that to be the worst case scenario in the outcome from all this stuff, from all these booby streamers. So we'll see.
I don't know, isn't it the case that, aren't those channels, don't they need to be age gated, right?
They should be, but
it's like 18 plus, you have to click, and so if you click that, then you consent to watching it, right? And so can't you just have advertisers that would only advertise on those channels? Like
ideally, but rather than only, if they give
or not even only, but you know, it's just like the advertisers.
If they give them the tools to say no to all these kind of categories, then they're kind of compelled to use that as they have on YouTube, so they don't get called out, and then it's a dark situation, let's say, if you depend on ad revenue.
It's going to get spicy.
Indeed it is. 11 apiece now.
And I don't mean the streams themselves.
3 rounds in a row for Complexity. This is, it's heating up. And it's nothing to do with hot tubs. Refresh will pull out the Galil. AKs for the rest of the squad. Mixed bag of utility from player to player for Heroic. There's a molly to go in the window. It's an old school grenade. Used to see that in a pistol round sometimes. Many years ago. Rush can't get a multi-frag. We've got an opening towards B. Config getting deleted is a huge kill. Tessus picking up the slack. Now what did Complexity do? They've got money in the bag for the most part. Not quite with position, however. Heroic have the bomb secure. It is on the way to the B bomb site. Now, what is Poison's play here? He's got to be careful with this AWP. One more kill, and this round is a save. Well, there's something for Poison. Makes it a 3-on-3. And we are on. That's high ground advantage for Blamer as he heads towards the B bomb site. All three Complexity players with kits. I wouldn't test Poison too much. JKS now. Where are the kills for Heroic? It's all Complexity on this retake. Cadian in a 1 versus 3. There's time on the clock as well. JKS will respond to that kill from Cadian. And it'll be made 12 for Complexity. I thought they were considering saving, but they just got frag after frag, and here they are.
Complexity on it, man, making it happen here. This would be a massive win for them considering the struggles they've been having with this map recently, just not really able to take on the best. And when it used to be a home map for them, if they can come back into it, I mean, that would be terrific for Complexity. They've played this map 18 times in the last 3 months. So, I mean, they beat Fnatic, but then they were losing to the likes of Anonymous and Mouse Sports on the map. So for them to come back in here, this would be a big deal for them. Reestablishing themselves. They're still positive on the map in the last 3 months. 11 wins, 7 losses, but Complexity now setting themselves up for success. Heroic, it is on them now to just shut this up.
Heroic posturing towards B. Cadian with the strafing smoke grenade into the window. I think Flusher used to use that a lot back in the day. What did Complexity read of this situation? Storm makes his way in towards connector. Nobody here. JKS wandering on A, but now they've got some information towards that B bomb site. Config picked off again on short. That really makes Rush's job hard. Look at the space created by Refresh to allow the trade frag. Great work from him. We've got a 3-on-3 situation for Complexity. They'll be feeling confident after the 3v4 retake they just pulled off. Creeping through into the market position once again. Very similar scenario. BlameF once again in the high ground. TeSeS waiting for him. Poison looking to be gifted something. Nothing doing just yet. JKS creeping now. TeSeS sees the flashbang. BlameF is going to get the best of TeSeS on the high ground and starting to creep now. Trade frag is here. BlameF is locating, repositioning the bombs. Pretty far ticked. Just needs to stay alive. Needs to dance a little bit. BlameF will be dying one way or another. He's at a point of no return, and so is Cadian apparently. An expensive round.
Very. Complexity have the money at that point. That's really well played on BlameF's part. Just staying in there, making sure that Cadian goes up with the bomb because they do not have a whole lot of money to play with Heroic. Whereas Complexity, they have fat money in the bank. So they all get fully equipped, no problem at all. The round was already lost. It's the small victories, though. It's the small victories. And so, wow, Cadian just had enough. But, yeah, no Kevlar. Just glass cannon AWP from Cadian. Okay, bold move here. Getting that op in. And we have a couple of Galils just to be able to get some nades going. Oh, I wonder if does he do this because he got that spawn location. Well, action's about to hit Shush. As Poison, once again, aggro in the apartments.
Yeah, he's not scoped in, which is awkward for him. Of course, if he just right-clicks, they know exactly where he is and he's dealt with. So he's got to go for a quick scope. Which won't be the easiest play. Oh, hold on a second. This is going to be a meeting of the minds. There's a quick scope. JKS delivers as well. That really neuters the push from Heroic. Again, Complexity have much better money. Config, alive for a second, but the grenades can't help him. There's an opening frag for Heroic. TeSeS, big jewel from him. That's the B-bomb site open.
Oh,
now where does the bomb go? Does the bomb stay and wait for CT rotation? Poison's surely been heard. Oh, that scope just saving Storm. TeSeS holding down B in the meantime, and it turns around for Heroic. Complexity had a 5 versus 3. Now only one of them remain here at JKS with 8 HP. Big jewel on short from TeSeS earlier on. Taking one bullet in the head, but doing one better. Started with double kill here in Palace. Ends on the B-bomb site.
Unreal. Down 2, and they managed to bring it back like that. And Complexity, that is just a real kick in the pants because you know that they felt like they had the read on the situation with the Palace play like that. It works out wonderfully for them as well, and then they just get gutted. Shot after shot going the way of Heroic. Stavin and Tessis, man, they are monsters. Glad to see that Tessis is continuing to show good form here, but again, it's Cadian leading from the front, but everybody else is very even across the board here for Heroic. So Complexity, that doesn't fully, it does leave them in a bit of a tight spot in terms of money.
It does indeed, but we know what they can do with just the one rifle. If they pick up a second one, then Heroic may not be able to respond in the best fashion. Nothing is guaranteed in round 26. There will be a timeout from Complexity. Maybe calculating how many buys they have. Worst case scenario. How much to invest or what to do. Can see Blameth having a chin wag.
Mm-hmm. He would be the one. He would be the one. He's going to have the game plan. Complexity is feeling a bit of frustration right now, though. JKS always
look at that
not
kitchen.
want to show much. Wait.
Nice kitchens.
Are they
big
in the same
kitchens.
place? Poison and Rush. Do they have the same background there?
I don't know, but I
No.
want a kitchen like that.
Looking good, though. Yeah, I wonder where Rush is set up. I mean, he was in London, wasn't he?
I wonder if his microwave has got Wi-Fi.
Probably has the Bluetooth.
Let's see what JKS can do then with this AK-47. There will be a boost into ladder room. Seeing similar strats from both teams in that respect. Breaking the event, a quick hop up, and Heroic will take it slow once more. But again, if Complexity get an opportunist kill, then Heroic will need to have the right response to avoid a calamity as they had previously. Ooh.
Yeah, you can see a little mouth shake. Like, wait a second.
Tessis' sprays have been dodgy. He's lost some jewels on a few occasions. He's still 18 for 15, but he might not be as sharp as he can be. Again, he did have a big impact frag on short in the previous round. Blameth now with the P250 will be spotted by Stown, dropping off the side. Nice work from him. And the push can begin. JKS has decisions to make as to what he does with this AK. He is racing towards A at present. Config in a deagle. So many shots from him, so many highlights, looking for a second one. Why is he fighting alone here? There's another player in Palace. Don't get it. And there goes the AK-47. Didn't last long on the A-bomb site. Cadian dealt with him. And Heroic moved to 14. We move into a very crucial time for Complexity. They have one buy in the hole. They have to succeed now.
He may be having to go for the sprays, but Tessis, he's actually dropped sub 60% on his headshot rating. That's actually very, very weird because he has actually got nutty headshot percentage usually, so he's kind of taking a little dip on that. Maybe having to go for these dodgy sprays. Not the ideal situation for Tessis. He's usually got the quick, crisp, clean aim. He has more aggression into Palace. This time they're ready for Blameth with the trade, though, taking Tessis out of the fight.
Wow, he really went deep into Palace there. And Heroic were just standing around waiting. So that was unfortunate timing for him. But Poison with the Org will cut this round to pieces. All of a sudden, Storm is alone.
Now this is a disaster. What is going on here? Heroic really trying to go for the change of pace. Complexity were looking for the fight. They got that fight. Cadian not happy one bit about this.
My God.
But the advantage of going for very quick rounds like that is that it's going to give Stoughton a lot of time to work with.
How on earth did he get 3 unresponded frags? That was really crazy. I have to see what was going on at the same time. There's a chance for Storm to collect the bomb. And he'll have some reasonable times to go for the clutch.
Indeed. Rush now worried. Is it going to be B? Blameth has worked his way over towards B apartments, though. So that is no longer an option for Stoughton. Going to be working his way towards A. Poison holding close, though. Combat op sort of situation for Poison. This is very weird.
Yeah, that's awkward. Maybe not deeming it safe to move into a better position.
If him and Rush could trade places, this would be great. Otherwise, not really sure here.
Oh, boy. This is very strange indeed. Storm swinging all over the place. Yeah, awkward spot for him. How, I don't know where those kills came from on the A-bomb site. Starting in Palace.
Wow.
And catching him with a grenade in his hands, that is a turn of events for Complexity.
Where was the flash? No flash for them to get out of Palace with. No help there possible. So he is fully able to just spray them down. The value of $200 flash grenades, guys. Heroic 14-13, and we are just sitting to the thick of it. This is a force buy from Heroic, really trying to rush Poison down. Stamin is there with a kill, but Poison able to bring it back, maintain the man advantage for Complexity. So again, both of these teams really trying to crank up the pace. Nice lurk here from Shush.
If Heroic lose everything here, they may have to play for overtime. It's something they'll have to consider.
It's a 3-on-3 as the smoke clears, though. Still a winnable situation for either of these teams. The one thing is that Shush, does he try to take advantage of this or not? He's kind of stuck now, hoping for a rotation through CT that he's not going to get. Tessus and Shush both have nades. Tessus with a smoke could use that to smoke off jungle here in a moment.
Now they come, Poison holding the cross. There are flashes, mollies, smokes. They can deal with these choke points. Very deep volley as Poison moves forward beyond it. Battle sniper mode. Down goes Dawn. The bomb to be planted for CT now. There's also utility for Shush. He can smoke connector from the CT area. Look at that push through the smoke there. Ready and fighting. 1v1 now. Rush is low. There is a molly, but Shush doesn't want to get caught holding that.
He can't readily use it either. That smoke on it is going to really throw things out of whack. Rush can now push forward. Molly is no longer an option for Shush. This is hectic. Oh, he runs into the spray!
Yeah, it's the only play. The bomb and the spray are one at that point, and he's running out of time. Rush. Just hoping that the bullets go the wrong way, but it's not the case. Not quite the Matrix. Well then, we've got game point for Heroic, a very back and forth affair. We reach round number 29. We'll see if Complexity have anything left. They've won a bunch of unlikely rounds. We can see that Storm feels the pressure on that one again. If Heroic lost that round, they would be in real trouble, but they didn't. They survived. But again, Complexity very proactive, even when they are ill-equipped, not shy to do it. They will force their way back into rounds. But a numbers game looking to be abused here by Heroic. Poison stuck with just a scout now. And down he goes. We have one kill for Complexity, and don't want to get caught with grenades here. Shush is in trouble, and it starts to collapse again for Heroic. 4 versus 3, no chance to plant the bomb. Some hesitation maybe causing them trouble. Config's been popped. Blameth around the smoking connector. Keeps a man advantage for Heroic. And again, it's tied up, but Storm's only got 13 HP. There's a HE for JKS. Storm now on top of the box and deleted. They know refreshes roughly in default, avoids the grenade for free. He doesn't know where both players are. Looking over the smoke now. Plenty of smokes to dissipate. Does he see anything on the radar? Maybe he did. Not sure if it was both players. Oh, that's a great headshot into Flame. But he doesn't have it for JKS, and once more, on the brink of defeat, Complexity win another unlikely round on their CT side.
Outrageous, and he's going to be able to get this defused plenty of time. And Complexity, that was such a close run thing. Refresh, really the hero. Triple kill for him in the round. Nearly gets the quad. By Config and JKS getting work done on the A side itself. That was so chaotic. Yeah, JKS here, you can see it on the edge of the smoke. It's such a nasty position. The CT's really favor it right now. It's so hard to trade, and you can see he's just so effective at getting one kill and then backing off and staying alive. It's all you need to do. And so we will get a timeout called. They do get a bomb plant, fortunately, Heroic, but their money is in tatters. They really have not much to work with here. So what is it that they can go for that will be effective? We've hardly, interestingly enough, man, we've hardly seen any B site at all, it feels like, from Heroic. It's been a whole lot of A.
It's just these rounds where Complexity have got a pistol here, a pistol there. They just can't seem to deal with them well enough. It's caught in no man's land with smoke grenades and such. It's giving Complexity the wrong opportunities. And we see Heroic now with a weird buy. Complexity at great advantage. Poison with the AUG. Heroic very quickly downstairs. See if Blameff gets caught off. No, it'll be Cadian. And they can't get into position in time to respond to this. Blameff falling back behind the box. He loves this box, and he'll get even more from this. Blameff all over this round now. Free fire on the ramp, and just like that, we're headed to overtime. A number of opportunities missed by Heroic in that half allow Complexity back into the game.
Danish CS is a hell of a drug, man. Config and Blameff top fragging for Complexity. 26 kills for Config, 24 for Blameff. And then just going toe-to-toe right there with Heroic. The others on Complexity stepping up. Poison really making that AUG sing, but this is just Complexity doing work right now. Refusing to say die. This is not over yet. Heroic, now that they will have a full buy, we got a quick tech timeout getting called here for Heroic. I think, I don't know. The main thing here is that, again, 10,000 start money, guys. So if Complexity lose this round, this coming round, they will be in a tight spot. It's imperative for the CT side to win the first round of overtime when there's 10,000 on the line, because otherwise your bank just disappears so quickly.
A very tense game. It feels like the third game, and it's only the first in this series. From start to finish, again, Complexity setting the pace on the T side. Very slow, very deliberate. Lots of presence in mid. Seen some very brutal rounds in favor of both sides, but Complexity, in fairness, on their CT side have done a lot with a little on more than one occasion. Situationally or equipment-wise. There's the pause unpaused, I presume.
Looks very similar.
What, the kitchenware?
Yeah, it looks like the kitchen looks very similar between Rush and Poison. That's why I was wondering if they're staying in the same place or not.
Do you have an internet fridge? Internet-enabled fridge?
No. No. What do you need what do you need a Bluetooth fridge for?
I don't know, similar. But I know they exist.
They do exist.
I don't know what their purpose is, but I know they're out there.
Again.
Listening devices, perhaps.
Exactly. More things with access to the internet in your home. Fantastic.
We're being spied on by foreign agents.
Yeah, or our own agents.
Yeah, probably. Even just as likely.
If you want to play a game, you can play peekaboo with your FBI agent. You know, you just hold your hand over your over your camera.
Zuckerberg's got tape on his laptop webcam.
Yeah, he does. If he does, well, that makes you wonder, doesn't it?
15 apiece. The M4s are out. Mostly M4A4s for Complexity. Nice to see the difference from team to team. Now, who has the momentum moving into overtime? JKS sees through the flames. That's a lot of information. 3 players, bomb included. One of them eliminated, but Heroic will have to go for a plan B now. Config looking for something, fishing in the short position. There will be a lurker showing some presence. In the meantime, Rush we can see on a balcony towards B. Complexity maybe it's a distinct advantage for a time, at least they were rich in information, but as the time ticks on, the information gets older and older and less useful. 4v4 may prove fruitful for Heroic, at least in theory. Poison and Connector lurking. Very passive on AR Complexity. You've got Blameff in CT spawn, but they start to get more aggressive towards B again. Complexity always proactive, and Heroic for now have got the time to wait this out, but Refresh is alone in the apartments with the bomb with 2 CTs coming his way. That does not look very good at all.
Oh. Yeah, that was a bit of a stretch there for Poison. If they've got the early warning on you, the peak is certainly a death sentence.
So what is the Palace player going to do here? Shush. Suggested split. There is Refresh with the bomb, but he can't press on alone. He's so far away from his teammates. They're looking to split the A bomb site in the meantime, so he's got to make the rotation. He's got Cadian in mid to help him. Config and CT now. Config and Blameff have a decision to make. Blameff just waiting things, just holding some map control. 17 seconds, the time becomes an issue for Heroic. And you have to wonder about the pace. What does Blameff try to do here? What is the effort he makes? He can see, just an edge of a T side. Creeping forward now, past the angle. Instantly traded by TessS. The first round goes the way of Heroic.
Big deal here, James. Again, as I mentioned, it's going to put tremendous pressure on Complexity's bank, losing that first round. So this is going to tap the rest of it. If Complexity were to struggle in this round as well, I mean, that's just going to put them in an eco situation on the last one, or at least pistol forced by a sort of disaster. It's what we've seen in the past with 10,000 starting money on CT side. And so Heroic, they have a real chance to just ruin Complexity here. Double AWP, man. Double AWP. All in for Complexity. Now let's see what they're capable of. Heroic.
Ooh, that was a big chance.
Quite. Double op. We've seen this in the past from Complexity. This used to be one of their favorite strategies on the CT side of Mirage. And Config, a perfectly capable opper.
This is Heroic's turn to have big presence in the mid position. Support grenades for Connector. Perhaps just in time, but Config is forced away by the flashbang. BlameF over the smoke, dropping the bomb, looking for a multi-frag. He'll get it. Traded by Cadian, though. The pace begins to get a bit faster. Complexity love mid, be it T-side or CT side, and BlameF has been instrumental with some of his kills. Moves to 27 frags now as Poison's in shotgun mode. Once again, an awkward position. JKS again proactive, not going to sit on the man advantage, clearing A, allowing his team to stay towards B. You can see Rush, well, he can hear Rush as well, jumping onto the balcony. Big opportunity for Refresh, but he can't do anything about Rush. Goes from bad to worse for Heroic in the second round of overtime, leaving Storm alone 1 versus 4. They know where he is now. And that means all the CTs will move into more aggressive positions. Poison will deliver that final frag, 1 round apiece.
Tied it up. Complexity survived the hurdle, and they're going to have everything they need here going into this last round. It's all on Heroic now to come up with the winning strategy. And so, yeah, just not really winning moves anywhere on the map there that round. It was really brutal. BlameF again with the peek over the smoke definitely ended up costing him. And so BlameF once again coming up with the goods for his team. Continuing to stand tall, 27 kills for him, tied by Cadian. It's both Danish in-game leaders. Just going hard right now. Almost identical stats.
Wow, that is a jungle smoke from Refresh that I've not noticed before. The pixel gap. Sometimes this clips and doesn't do a clean kill. This time it'll clip and do a clean kill. Well, there's an opening frag, and that may cause problems towards the B bomb site. I don't know if Poison heard a rotation though. We can see him on shorts, and Heroic instantly ran away. Speaking of which, BlameF, you can see him. He's got the sound cues. That's surely going to pull a rotation as they head towards the A bomb site. Heroic. JKS is alone. They've got to go fast. They've got to commit to this one, and they will do. Full commitment from Complexity towards the A bomb site. A 5 versus 4 counter grenades being deployed by Complexity. Void, the flashbang does Cadian, but stuck in the choke point. We see the swing up top. No one from the bottom just yet. JKS in a very awkward spot. Not much place for him to hide now. We see Rush by triple. Will he be traded by Heroic? Indeed, he will be. Poison and BlameF. BlameF looking for the multi-frag. He's got 2. That's the bomb as well. Falling back for a second. Do you take that jewel? In the meantime, that allows Poison the space to make it only Shush. Complexity loves themselves some info, and they've put themselves in an unbelievable position. Shush 1 versus 2, 24 seconds on the clock. Looking for a kill. BlameF still on the ramp. Poison by the stairs. And there he is. Off to the B bomb site goes Shush. Has he got time to do this? I'm not sure. BlameF's wondering now. BlameF for the sound cues on the way, moving round triple, and he wins the duel as well. Complexity have been so proactive on their CT side. A sigh of relief from BlameF, but they put themselves in a position to win.
What a round is that? And the BlameF again, just perfect positioning. He hears it all. You pointed out, as soon as he hears that rotation come through, it pulls the B defense immediately towards that A site. And then Shush, I think he just wasn't aware of the time left. I mean, it's the correct instinct to go towards B because he knows where the other guy is. Once he kills Poison, he knows where BlameF is.
Yeah.
But with 16 seconds, you're not making it to that bomb site.
I
so
suppose
he had to come back through.
His concern is that there's a world where BlameF could have made his way towards Palace, and then it's very limited where he can plant the bomb. It is a possibility. And you never know with Complexity. It may be a relief for Heroic that Complexity moved to the T side. Showing what is necessary to win some of these CT rounds.
I'm just amazed. I mean, right now, Heroic struggling, but also Complexity playing up to the level of their opponents. I mean, they're hitting shots. I mean, really right now, when it's BlameF and Conflict both popping off for Complexity, I mean, that's going to be a winning formula for them. Poison's hitting shots as well, and all of this bodes well for Complexity. The Juggernaut just going at it.
Storm being patient. He's moving through for a better opportunity if Rush pursues the situation. But again, this angle of the AWP allows him to jump out the window if he needs to, and also allows an extra player towards that A bomb site. 49 seconds, Complexity really setting the pace once again, just as they did on their original T side, but a bomb is on the way towards B. Oh my God, I don't know how that hasn't landed. I'm not sure if that was the bomb carrier or if it was Rush. Either way, Storm's in trouble. Needs some help from Tesses. Rush dropped, and there's a trade from Config on short. The split is on, and I don't know how much Tesses can do about it. It's moving on to the site. 25 seconds, he knows it has to be B. Multi-frag from Tesses now. Staying alive will be a huge problem. He's still alone on B, and there will be a chance to plant the bomb.
A chance to win the round for Complexity. 2v3, but that bomb is planted. They're all coming from the same location. Heroic, that may be an advantage unless they start lining up. Nice shot from Poison, though.
Ooh, that's not the right jump. Just sailing through the air, allowing Cadian to eliminate him. Cadian will get the information for his teammate to clean up. Sacrificed himself. The timing was right for Shush, a free kill for him. And the score is tied again.
That is very, very fortunate that Shush wins that duel. Because the spacing is terrible. I mean, there's no chance to refrag there. It's just Cadian jumping out, getting the info, and then it is just the onus is completely on Shush at that point to just hit the shot. 1v1 versus BlameF. So tight situation for Heroic, but they come out on top. 17-17, looking for the first team to reach 19, as you guys can see. And so it's a double AWP situation now. It's down again with it over towards... in fact, no, Cadian is going to take his AWP over towards B. It's 4 players on A early here for Complexity. JKS, he's got a bit of a rude awakening waiting for him in Palace.
Yeah, this angle from Refresh is nasty. Playing someone of off angle as well. JKS looking for the usual positions behind the sofa, which is why Refresh is just out there avoiding the pre-fire lineup. Always got to keep mixing things up. Config now looking for an answer. I'm not sure if Tesses just spotted him there. But there's a man advantage for Heroic. Smokes towards junglers. Config tries to punish a reposition. No one spotted him just yet. Storm with the AWP and CT. Bomb in connector in the hands of Complexity. And Config starts to head up towards the bench. He may just find himself a refresh. Indeed, he does. How can they respond to this? Grenades thrown at the same time. No trade frag opportunity. Got one by default, and down goes Config finally. Shush now needs some help from his teammates. Swinging wide to get a headshot into Rush. Into the smoke he goes. Shadow spotted by Poison. Awkward angles, but BlameF is here to help. 3 versus 2. 2 AWPs for the retakers. Tesses, the rifler, has dropped. Cadian on his way from jungle. Storm in CT. Poison with a very strong angle. So far away from the point of contention. But that molly will force him into the reticle of Cadian, leaving BlameF in a 1 versus 2. That's a big headshot onto Cadian. And Storm now has got to force his way forward. BlameF dancing, and it gets another one. It's game point for Complexity. Such a tight game of Counter-Strike.
This is such a close game. I can't get back to how just talented BlameF is, dude. In the clutch situation, he keeps coming through for his team. 35 kills total for BlameF now. You keep thinking it can't be possible that the guy can't just keep winning these duels, and yet here we are.
He's playing absolutely insane.
Lights out, making the difference for Complexity. Refusing. I mean, really, I guess it's just the two it's BlameF and Config were just like, yeah, we're not going to lose to the Danish team. You know, we're given the chance. We're not going to lose to our compatriots. So this has resulted in a very awkward bye here for Heroic, trying to force a second round of overtime. Complexity means lurk on up through. Looking for the split onto A. Yeah, nicely done. Config gonna catch Cadian, reaching for information.
Yeah, can't do that for free. Well, 1 AWP lost, 1 AWP collected by Storm. JKS deleted on the ramp, a long laboured spray will not yield what he was looking for. Got Refresh on the balcony towards the B bomb site. In Refresh they trust, he's alone. But we can see Tesses and Shush being active. Config still in connector. Oh, the timing will work perfectly for Storm. TSS will move closer towards B. Refresh puts a smoke up. He's inside it. Rush makes his way onto the site, into the hands of TSS, and we are not done just yet. Despite the best efforts of Blamef and Complexity, the score is tied again. 18 apiece. The teams will remain on the same sides until halftime.
Heroic getting pumped up. Cadian also getting hype. Always that as the in-game leader. He knows how to get that energy going for the team. And yeah, they're just straight on out of it. Complexity digging deep. They managed to get a couple of early kills, but they weren't able to hold on to it. And that is a very frustrating situation. But now, when it comes to actually getting out onto a bomb site, you can start over fresh. Poison is going to go for the AWP. Are we just going to get... no. I was thinking we might just get some early B aggression, but no, that's not the case. It's, once again, straight out to top mid. More of the same. Early fight here. Oh, what a swing. Never mind. That is crazy.
Indeed. A false sense of security for Complexity, but they still have a chance. Poison, though, is stuck with the bomb behind the boxes, deploying grenades and refreshers. Close to have no idea here. Is he ready for it? He is, but he's exposed himself enough for TSS to trade. All these rounds, Complexity have had mid somewhat uncontested. Suddenly, Heroic changed the pace and delete them in mid.
Stown is pissed, dude. Everybody else is kind of grinning like, okay. He was definitely shouting there, doing great work. What an opening series for him. Shush there to back him up as well. So that's going to give Complexity a big chance here. Now, strong start on the CT side could mean a lot against Complexity. No bomb plat for Complexity. And once again, challenge in mid. Refresh and Tess is charging. This is going to get hectic.
It really is. The transfer from Refresh and TSS. Look at all the frags in mid. It's a 3 versus 2 with a minute 40 on the clock. What on earth is that?
Back-to-back ultra aggro rounds is what it is. Just enough respect. I mean, Heroic, they have to just know that they're the better team. They have to stop showing Complexity so much respect and just letting Complexity get in position to execute their strats. They just need to get in there and start fighting them straight up. Make it chaotic. You guys are the superior team as far as you're concerned.
I might need to learn these grenades. Smoke towards jungle. Poison considering the flashbang. That would maybe give away the position of both players, but maybe they have to. There is the flashes. Rush shifts out of connector. So there's half the information for Heroic. He goes further. But we can see Shush's angle is a strong one, and that is the kill he was looking for. 3 versus 1 now. Storm's in T spawn. Storm in spawn. And Poison with a lot to do. He has no targets to find, but perhaps Shush will be collected. Does he get a flashbang? I think he does. Manages to rifle off a shot, but no connection is made. 20-18. Heroic now with a consecutive round in overtime.
Yeah, actually managing to chain them together. More aggression for Heroic is the key. They just need to know that they are the better team and they need to play with confidence. It's looking entirely possible here for them. Yeah, the air conditioning in here is actually brutal. It's wrecking my throat. Is it yours too?
It's a little chilly in here, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just getting screwed. All right, let's get it. Blame F. Man advantage now for Complexity moving on to that A site. And they are going to go for the waterfall strat. Out of Palace, straight onto bomb site. And let's see, it's going to get real interesting.
Oh, my
line up.
That is not the kind of waterfall they were looking for. It's a waterfall into a bin bag, apparently. Config's got 2 of his own. Switch out, looking for the next assailant, falling back to the Palace. He has some cover, he has safety. He's isolated some fights. Cadian still on short now, but he will be smoked off. There's a pop flash for Blamef. Makes his way towards jungle. It's a default plant. TSS being very patient indeed. 9 HP for Config. Cadian with a HE grenade. We'll see who does what. The clock is ticking. Goes towards the fireboxes, but nobody is home. Blamef watching the cross. Oh, that's a great little tap from TSS, and Blamef will show his position. 1v1 now. The bomb is planted for TSS. The HE won't be enough, and may not even go flying across the bomb site. 3 game points for Heroic. Things were getting real awkward for them, but they've turned it around. However, Complexity may be at their most dangerous on the CT side of how proactive they are. They really bring the fight to Heroic. They'll have to take the right risks, though, at the right time to survive this test.
This is going to be the true test here for Complexity, and this is where they might start to feel like, This game is slipping through their fingers. BlameF is doing everything he can to drag his team across the finish line. But again, BlameF is doing well, Config doing well, but the rest of them really struggling right now in this system that Complexity have constructed. As we switch over to the CT side, we're going to have to see if players like Rush can start to step up to the plate here with the individual performance. And JKS, again, getting close. Want to try and create some room here for Complexity on this CT side. More and more we see this boost up into B apartments early. No audio cues to give it away.
Oh, there it begins. Start as you mean to go on. An important kill from Poison. Config again with the pixel angle. Do you actually want to take this fight? Oh! Saw the headshot coming, but not on this occasion. And he will pursue, it seems. Oh man, in the meantime, Tessa's just walking up short for free. Mid a problem for both CT squads. That was quite the flash. Oh my god, Tessus is absolutely ready to close this one down. 4 versus 3, and Tessus will continue. He wants all the kills. And he may just get them. 2 versus 4. Complexity have to go for this. They're out of position, but Heroic are almost out of grenades, and that might help them. They could double peek this door, however. We see a boost of the default. That's not the angle he was looking for. Config, JKS now, 1 versus 4. This is the pick of Complexity, and it looks like it might be slipping away.
One shot at a time, double overtime again here. And this has got to be it. JKS, it's such a tall task. 1v4, retake scenario onto the site, and he is gone. Too many angles to worry about. 22-18, and Heroic win the first map of the series. This was Complexity's map pick. It was a must-win, I think, as far as they're concerned. And yet here we go. It slips through their fingers.
Yeah, that was a great war. Again, it felt like a third map of a series, but that was just the first one. 22 for 18, multiple overtimes, and Heroic just pipping them at the post after a very strong performance from